Hello everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel. So today I want to talk to you primarily about sleep. Hopefully this is likely going to be the first video I upload about sleep, and sleep is honestly one of the most important things. It helps so much with energy throughout the day, wakefulness, mental acuity, performance, general sense of mood, well-being, and so on. So honestly, getting your sleep under order is one of the best things you can do, and it's usually one of the easiest things you can do for the amount of return you get for trying to actually fix it. So take the first step of loving yourself and stop watching shows at 4 a.m. and get your sleep under control. Okay, so essentially I'm going to be taking a bunch of suggestions from Andrew Huberman, a neuro-ophthalmologist from Stanford, on how to kind of wake up earlier. So these are essentially morning hacks, how to wake up earlier with more energy. By implementing a mix of these of things in your routine, in your morning routine. So the first and most important thing, and the main thing I want you to take away from this video, so if you just do this one thing, you'll be so much better off than you were, is to go outside and get 2 to ideally 10 minutes of sunlight to your eyes. So you need to go outside, and the reason why is because there's something called lux. Okay, lux is, to oversimplify, a measure of intensity of brightness of some sort. Okay, and in your room, for example, a well-lit room, the lux will be, for example, 500, maybe 1,000, probably not. Right? If you go outside on a semi-sunny day in the morning, the lux will be 10,000. Right? And when your eyes get that much lux, they realize, oh, it's morning. It's time to wake up. It's time to release that cortisol, and it's time to continue with my day. Cortisol is essentially the stress hormone. However, it serves an important role in setting your circadian rhythms, your internal clock. And having that spike of cortisol in the morning, your largest spike, is what you need to help with the wakefulness and the energy, right? So you wake up, you get that 10 minutes, it wakes you up. Because of the high amount of lux, which you can't get from indoor lighting. Also, because the sun is at a low solar angle, it will also tell your eyes, your photoreceptors, that oh, it's also morning now. I understand. Okay? So all it takes is 5-10 minutes ideally, and it goes a long way. You can even test what I'm telling you with an app. You can get a light app and you can do it, and so on. It'll work. However, you can't do it through Windows because, like I said, it messes up the lux intensity. Even though the apps might not pick that up properly, it's been established throughout studies. Okay. All right. So that's the first thing, most important thing. 2 to 10 minutes of sunlight as soon as you wake up. Next is to do a cold shower. I know no one wants to do that in the morning, but it's an option you have available to you. Again, it will cause that cortisol, the epinephrine, again, that setting your clock. But it also is because when you get very cold, the hours preceding that, your body will heat up. And heat is increase in body temperature is the #1 indicator of wakefulness. So you get cold, 3 hours later, you'll get hot, and boom, awake. And help with energy. And like typically 3 hours after waking is when you're at your hottest for the most part, and is also a good time to exercise. However, the third point is exercise. So doing 10 to 15 minutes of exercise doesn't have to be too intense in the morning, will also help with that cortisol spike and also help with waking you up. For example, I'm going to give you a good suggestion. You can wake up, maybe a glass of water, then go on a 10-15 minute walk or jog, regardless. You get the sunlight, you get the exercise, you'll come back feeling good, maybe ready for a breakfast of some sort. And that leads on to the fourth point, having an early but light breakfast. So essentially, once again, when you have breakfast, when you wake up and you have breakfast kind of soon after waking up, you'll realize your body will anticipate the food. So it will start waking you up a little bit earlier, anticipating food. This is also the same thing with exercise. When you exercise, your body will wake up a little bit sooner, anticipating the exercise. So essentially, we kind of give it food a bit early, hoping, so we wake up early, giving food a bit early. But this is the last one. And the reason why I say light breakfast is because if you have too big of a breakfast, it might make you a bit sluggish. And of course, there's all the people who love the fasting in the morning, which is, of course, a very viable idea for being concentrated and alert during work before maybe having a lunch. Okay, a lot of information, quick summary. Most important thing is to get 2 to 10 minutes, ideally, of sunlight as soon as you wake up, within 30 minutes or so. Good idea to have a very, very good start to your day is maybe go on a walk or a jog. You get some exercise in, what a great start, right? Next is cold exposure, it's an option. Next, exercise, doesn't have to be too intense. The more intense, the more cortisol, but 10 to 15 minutes is a good spot. Lastly, early light breakfast, again, to get your body anticipating it. These things will give you more energy throughout your day, will help set your internal clock, and honestly, the things you can do in the morning can be more impactful for the quality of your sleep at night. So you getting that 10 minutes of sunlight will probably help with your sleep onset and duration, potentially more than things you could do at night, which is kind of crazy. But that's how powerful our eyes are and are receptive to light and fixing our internal clock. So I hope you took some interesting takeaway from it and maybe implement some sort of routine where you go outside for a few minutes in the mornings when you wake up. Alright, have a nice day. I love you guys.